video we will discuss tax deductions available on home loans. A very important criterion to be kept in mind while taking a home loan is the tax benefit on home loan. To explain the tax benefit on home loan, we would be dividing the repayment of home loan into two components: the repayment of the principal amount and the repayment of the interest. As the repayment comprises of two different components, the tax benefit on home loan is governed by different sections of Income Tax Act, and these are claimed as tax deductions under different sections while filing the income tax return. The sections under which tax benefit on home loan can be claimed are Section 80C and Section 24, and there is another section, that is Section 80EE. Let's explain Section 80, that is tax benefit on home loan, but in this case we take only the principal amount. The amount paid as repayment of principal amount of home loan by an individual is allowed as tax deduction under Section 80C of Income Tax Act. The maximum deduction allowed under Section 80C is Rs 1,50,000. This tax deduction is the total of the deductions allowed under Section 80C, as has already been explained in other video, and Section 80C deductions include PPF account, tax saving fixed deposits, equity oriented mutual funds, national savings certificates, your GP fund, your NPS, the SLI, etc. This tax deduction under Section 80C is available on payment basis, irrespective of the year from which the payment has been made. This is very important, that the deductions under Section 80C they are available on payment basis. मान लीजिए आपने इस साल पेमेंट नहीं की है, द पेमेंट ऑफ द प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट ऑफ लोन, तो इस साल कोई डिडक्शन अवेलेबल नहीं होगी आपके लिए. हाँ, अगर आपने इस साल पेमेंट की है ऑफ द प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट फॉर दिस ईयर या प्रीवियस ईयर और a year before that, once the payment is made, it becomes available for deduction. The amount paid as stamp duty and registration fee, etc., they can also be allowed as tax deductions under Section 80C, even if the SSC has not taken loan. However, the tax benefit of home loan under Section 80C for repayment of principal part of the loan is allowed only after the construction is complete. This is to be kept in mind, and the completion certificate has been awarded. No deduction will be allowed under this section for repayment of principal for those years during which the property was under construction. You have to remember this point. In case the SSC transfers the house property on which he has claimed tax deduction under Section 80C before the expiry of 5 years from the end of the financial year in which the possession has been obtained by him, then no deduction and tax benefit on home loan shall be allowed under Section 80C. So, there must not be any transfer of the property before the expiry of 5 years of possession of such property. The aggregate amount of tax deduction already claimed in the respect of previous years in case of transfer shall be deemed to be the income of SSC of such year in which the property has been sold, and the SSC shall be liable to pay tax on such income. This is very important. Now, deductions under Section 24, that means income tax benefit on interest on home loan. Tax benefit on home loan for payment of interest is allowed as a deduction under Section 24 of the Income Tax Act. As per Section 24, the income from house property shall be reduced by the amount of interest paid on home loan where the loan has been taken for the purpose of purchase, construction, repair, renewal, reconstruction of a residential property. That means under Section 24, your deductions are allowed even in case of repair, renewal and reconstruction, in addition to acquisition and construction. However, under Section 80C, you are allowed deduction only for the acquisition or construction of a house. The maximum tax deduction allowed under Section 24 of a self-occupied property is subject to a maximum of rupees 2 lakh. Rupees 2 lakh is the limit for deduction of interest in case of acquisition or construction of a house which is self-occupied. In case the property for which the home loan has been taken is not self-occupied, there is no maximum limit prescribed, and the taxpayer can take tax deductions of the whole interest paid under Section 24. It is also important to note that the tax deduction of interest on home loan under Section 24 is deductible on accrual basis. Under Section 80C, it was based on the payment basis. Here it is based on accrual basis. Accrual basis means the deduction under Section 24 should be claimed on yearly basis even if no payment has been made during the year, as compared to Section 80C, which allows for deduction only on payment basis. Means whether you have paid interest in the current year or not, your deductions under Section 24 are allowed. Moreover, if the property is not acquired or constructed or the construction is not completed within 5 years from the end of the financial year in which the loan was taken, the interest benefit in this case would be reduced from 2 lakh to 30,000 only. Means if you are not acquiring or the construction is not completed within 5 years, then the maximum benefit is 30,000, and the same benefit applies in case of repair, renewal or reconstruction of the house. For the purpose of simplicity, and easy understanding, a comparison of tax benefit on home loan under Section 24 and Section 80 can be made. For example, tax deduction allowed for interest is covered in Section 24, while as tax deduction allowed for principal is covered under Section 80C. The basis of tax deduction is accrual under Section 24, and it is paid basis in Section 80C. The quantum of tax deduction allowed for a self-occupied property under Section 24 is rupees 2 lakh, while as the quantum of tax deduction allowed for a property which is not self-occupied, there is no limit under Section 24. However, the maximum limit in case of Section 80C is rupees 1,50,000. The purpose of loan. Section 24, it covers the loan for the purchase, construction, repair, renewal or reconstruction of a residential house property. However, Section 80C only covers the loan for purchase or construction of a new house property. The eligibility for claiming tax deduction for the purchase or construction of the house under Section 24 is that the construction must be completed within 5 years, while there is no time limit in case of Section 80C. That means the purchase or construction, whether it is completed in 5 years or not, that's not an issue under Section 80C. There is a restriction of sale of property under Section 80. The tax deduction claimed would be reversed if the property is sold within 5 years. However, there is no restriction under Section 24. There is another section called Section 80EE of Income Tax Act. The income tax benefits on interest on home loan for first-time buyers, that is covered in Section 80EE. Section 80EE provides for additional deduction of rupees 50,000 for interest on home loan. This incentive would be over and above the deductions of rupees 2 lakh under Section 24 and rupees 1,50,000 under Section 80C. That is very important. This deduction of Section 80EE would be applicable only in some cases like The deduction would be allowed only if the value of the property purchased is less than rupees 50 lakhs and the value of loan taken is less than 35 lakhs. And the loan must be sanctioned between 1st of April 2016 and 31st March 2017. The benefits of the deduction would be available till the time the repayment of the loan continues. This deduction would be available from the financial year 2016 and 17.